Hey y'all,
Hey
hey
y'all,
y'all,
hey
hey
y'all,
y'all,
hey
hey
y'all,
hey.
hey.
It's time for cash flow
Pass for comment.
conversations. Are y'all
Are
ready
y'all
for
ready?
cash flow conversation? Cash flow
Cash flow
conversations
conversation
is
is
for
for
anyone
anyone
over the age
over
of
the age of
18,
18,
single,
single,
married,
married,
parents,
parents,
children, no
children, no
children,
children,
homeowners,
homeowners,
renters,
renters,
whether you get a
whether you get a
1099 or a
1099 or
W
a
2.
W-2,
If you desire
you
multiple
desire
streams
multiple
of
streams of
income,
income,
you love to
you love to
travel,
travel,
you like
you
helping
like helping
others,
others,
you have
you have
entrepreneurial
entrepreneurial
aspirations,
aspirations,
then Cashflow
and cash flow
Conversations is for
conversations
you.
is for you.
We have
We have
people from my
people from my
network
network
who are making
who
it
are making
happen
it happen
every
every
single
single
day.
day.
And I can't wait for you to
Can't wait
meet
for you
them.
to meet them.
We're going to start
We're
with
gonna
my
start with my
co host,
co-host,
Mr. Richard
Mr.
Wilson
Richard Wilson
III.
III.
Please introduce
Please introduce
yourself.
yourself.
Tell the people who
Tell
you
people who
are,
you are,
where you're
where you're
from,
from,
what you do for
what
your
you do
9
for
to
your nine to
5,
five,
and how did you
how did you
start
start
your
your
entrepreneurial
entrepreneurial
journey.
journey.
Okay. And my name is Richard Wilson III. Uh, in my organization, I'm classified as a brown builder. However, my 9 to 5, I am a retail sales supervisor for the Georgia World Congress Center here in Atlanta, Georgia. Uh, Originally from Atlanta, uh, born and bred, lived around uh, the country just a little bit, Chicago, Kansas City, and back here. My entrepreneurial journey started as a mortgage broker, actually, serving clients and helping people in the housing industry, realtors, builders, you name it. I was there. Uh, then after 2009, uh, that fallout, I stayed in the business approximately another year, and then just made a move over to a transition traditional 9 to 5 to kind of re restart and regroup. But always been an entrepreneur. So uh, then came into Planet Marketing
Okay.
and just having and gaining success there as we go and we grow.
I love it.
I
I
love
love it. Let's go and grow. So we're gonna keep it moving with a young man to my right, who is a
who is a
dear, dear
dear,
friend of
dear friend
mine,
of mine,
business
business
partner.
partner.
We've been doing things. We've been making it work and doing what we do for a very long time. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Mr. Ray Jean Perry.
Okay. How y'all been doing? My name is Rajon Akey Perry, and I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. And I'm a health and wellness consultant, um, along with so many other things. I wear so many other hats, but I've been here in St. Louis all my life. Um, Single father of two, uh, and been knowing Sister Chris for forever now, and like she said, did things here in St. Louis and in different things in Georgia.
Oh, I'm sure he'll pop back in while he's doing that. I want to introduce you guys, and I can't wait to hear from this young lady I met at an event, Miss Winter Holiday. Please introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, where you're from, how did you get into your entrepreneurial journey, and what do you do for your 9 to 5?
All right. Hi, Christine. Hi, everybody. My name is Winter Holiday. I am a 26-year-old out of Atlanta, Georgia, and I am a numerologist as well as an aromatherapist. And this is my brand behind me called When You Wonder because when you wonder, you find the connection between all things. So, my entrepreneur journey started back in, I would say, in 2018. So, the year after I graduated high school, I took a break. I've always been a creative. I was a childhood actress and model. So I took a break right after high school and pursued those creative interests as well as I started doing lashes. My mom was a hairstylist. I never really liked hair, but I took up my own role in the beauty industry. And so that taught me foundations of business and so on and so forth. And I just always felt like I was destined for something a little bit more and a little bit more fine tuned and personal to myself. So I started shifting from lashes into teaching sewing. So, teaching sewing and then just doing my own studious studies, I started to become interested in all things natural, natural healing, natural eating, so on and so forth. And so that gave birth to my brand When You Wonder, where now I use my gift of intuition and knowledge to help heal others. So I have a aromatherapy line, went to school for aromatherapy, and I have different oils that heal different modalities in the body. So I have an oil for pain relief, headaches, menstrual cramps, heat flashes, and so on and so forth. And so, yeah, here I am today with my brand, When You Wonder.
Now y'all see why I invited her. I mean, all of that. When she told me she was into aromatherapy and all things natural, we just instantly connected. I have two more people that have joined us, but we need your camera on, Ra. We'd love to see your beautiful face. If it's who I think it is, not really sure. I know I dropped the link. Oh, okay. They didn't want to come on camera, so they dropped off. Okay, last but certainly not least, my accountability partner, Miss Magdalene Somerville. Can you introduce yourself, Magdalene? Tell us who you are, where you're from, what do you do for a living, and how did you start your entrepreneurial journey? You're muted, and I cannot unmute you. You have to you unmute yourself if you can. There she is.
I'm not sure if I'll talk anything, but there's a lot of feedback on my end, so I'm not really hearing what you're saying.
Bad connection all the way around. That literally sent me. So I'm gonna get us started. So I figured out how to get rid of the feedback. Magdalene, your connection is just bad all the way around. So in order for me to get rid of the feedback, we can only talk. We can only be unmuted one at a time, y'all. But we're gonna get through this together, right? Y'all got my back. I got your back. Give me a thumbs up if you got my back. All right, I love to see it. I love being supported. I've been feeling that all day. As some of you know, so my name is Christine Jackson. I am born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, which is where I am right now. I started my entrepreneurial journey as a health and wellness consultant along with Ray John. We started the Heal Wellness team. And the Heal Wellness team, our mission was to assist people who wanted assistance with transitioning to healthier lifestyles, do that with ease and effective efficiency. One of the ways we do that is with our signature event called a Hillabration. And this Hillabration, we hosted over 20 events in the city of St. Louis every year. We were recognized by the Board of Aldermen. We were transforming lives, including our own. And I transitioned from St. Louis to Atlanta, where I became a health and wellness travel advisor, a juice therapist, a yoga practitioner, yoga teacher, and all of these things I've been doing over the years, connecting the dots, led me to where I am today. The personal development that I received from my company, Planet Marketing, has allowed me to put all the pieces together. And we are actually relaunching this year at the Atlanta Black Business Expo. We are relaunching the Heal Wellness Collective because we now have others that are joining us as well. So this is so apropos to have Winter and Anubis on this platform tonight because it's going to be all about health and wellness and also travel and how they coincide because it all works together. You need to travel for your mental health, for your physical health. It's just good for you. And then so we're gonna get into it. Like I said, we're gonna work through these audio issues. But let's see if Magdalene can go ahead and give us an introduction now that she's back. You have to unmute yourself, Miss Magdalene, Miss Multiple Streams of Income.
The connection sounds bad. How does it on your end?
It's horrible.
I'm sorry. But
Nope, can't do it. I can't do it. I do not have the capacity to do that today. It's bad, sis. It's really bad. Sorry, we're gonna have to catch you another time. It's okay. We have a full platform, so we're gonna go on and jump into it because we are definitely live, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with a couple of just easy questions. We did the where you from, how long you been, what made you start, what you do for your 9 to 5. Okay, so let's start with let's go back to winter because I love what you said. Let's talk a little bit more about, tell us a little bit more about your story. Like, how did you say, my mom, I learned how to do lashes. I started teaching people how to sew. Like, what led to that transition in your life? Um, Hold on 1 second. I gotta find your microphone so that I can unmute you. There we go. So, Winter, yeah, give us a little bit more.
Okay. So I would say my path has kind of been aligning itself since I was young. Like I said, my mom, she played a really big role in who I am and where I am today. So, yeah, my mom, she was always a source of creativity. So her family used to be a singing and traveling family group around the time of like the Jackson Fives and Aretha Franklin and really big, memorable artists and such. And so my mom, she just always boosted on my creativity and such. And so when I wanted to sew, she was right there. When I wanted to do pottery, she was right there. So that creativity has always been brewing in the background. And yeah, so when it came time for me to be of age, I was working other jobs, but I just felt like I had enough in me to sustain myself. And so that's when I started to offer my services to other girls because my cousin came and taught me how to sew, but she only spent maybe 30 minutes teaching me how to sew. And from then on, it was me getting different mentors and buying different classes and going here to learn this or spending a lot of hours on YouTube and such to learn the craft. And so, with whatever I do, my goal is to help the next person's journey be easier than mine.
I
So,
love
that's
it.
how I started to do my sewing classes. And then, like I said, my path has just been aligned this whole time. When I was in high school, I had a teacher who was an African history professor, and he made sure that we knew the curriculum, but also that we knew the truth behind certain things. Like I think it was George Washington that they said had a mouth full of wooden teeth. So he would teach us that so we would know it for the test, but he would turn around and let us know that his mouth really wasn't full of wooden teeth. It was full of teeth from his enslaved Africans, that he had enslaved. And that teacher, he was a health and wellness guru as well. So he's a holistic practitioner. So I would see him eating kale wraps and burning sage and just talking about higher topics. But I was young, so I got exposed to it, but I didn't really know, nor was I interested. And so just seeing that as I went on in my journey, I'm very studious. So as I went on in my journey, I started to learn about the herbs on my own and aromatherapy on my own. And just the time came where I saw a class on aromatherapy in a magazine. And I just thought, how much could we possibly learn about essential oils that they would charge you thousands to learn? And I'm always inquisitive and curious. So I paid for the class, and that was the best class that I have ever taken. That's when I learned that your sense of smell, sight, touch, and taste are pretty much all intertwined, and you can
Hmm.
heal using any of the modalities. And yeah, that's how I got here today. So, just through my own curiosity and also those people of wisdom and my elders that have been in front of me that I paid attention to on my
Your
path.
exposure,
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Your exposure shifted your mind so that you were able to understand and know that you could teach somebody else. I love that. Anubis, doesn't that sound like she's a perfect fit for the Hillabration and what we've done in the past and what we're gonna do in the future? Hold on. Somehow I it's not you you muted yourself. I'm trying to unmute you, but you have to unmute yourself.
Okay.
There you
I could
go.
have.
There we
Can
go.
you hear me?
Yes. Don't she sound like
Okay.
a perfect member of the Hill Wellness
It's
team?
totally a perfect fit. Yeah, it's wow. I mean, it's and just to see it's a whole, and I think we talk about this all the time, just to see the younger generation coming in and they're like ready, and I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm like, because we thought it was falling on deaf ears. So I'm like, just to see, folks are
Folks
excited
are
about health and
excited about
wellness.
health and wellness.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah, so
beautiful.
it's beautiful.
All right, tell us a little
Tell us a
bit
little bit
about you.
about
How
you.
did you
How did you
end up
end up
becoming a
becoming a
raw
raw
foodist
foodist
and
and
teaching people how
teaching
to
people how to
detoxify
detoxify
themselves
themselves
and get
and
healthy
get healthy
using food?
food?
How did you
How
get
did you
here?
get here? You know what?
It was me actually taking
It was
a
me actually taking
self-reflection
a
journey.
self reflection and journey. So it, I wonder,
So
I wonder why
back
it's echoing
back
back.
like that. Sister Chris, can we get it to because it's echoing back, and I'm like,
You should be good now.
okay, can you hear me?
Yep,
Can you
I
hear?
got you
Okay,
loud and clear.
yeah,
Yep, the echo is
okay,
gone.
yeah, okay. So, yeah, it was a self-reflection journey. My late teens, early 20s. Um, I just seen family, sick and going through it with just their health, and I was like, it has to be something. It has to be something. Has to be an alternative to this. And from that point on, I just started taking that, studying and just looking into different teachers and different folks that were into health and wellness. And I had a mentor that was an older white guy that gave me the game on everything. He just said, "Hey, look, just keep it as secret as you can. Don't tell nobody." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Just try to keep it on the low if you can." But he just basically gave. I mean, we would sit up and talk for hours. And I was probably 20, 21, 22. Um, and we would just sit up and watch videos of holistic doctors and all different types of videos on herbs, and we would study herbs. And I was like, okay. And from there on, as I started meeting more people in the community were like, hey, I need help. Hey, you help me. And I said, but okay, all right, come on. So at that point in time, I ended up meeting you and others, and that just basically catapulted me into a whole nother stratosphere on this health and wellness journey. Because I'm like, okay, I was like, this was just supposed to be a self-reflection journey, but it's a community journey. And so now we did different cities and traveled around to here and there, in the name of health and wellness. So it's been a beautiful journey.
It is. It definitely is. And I want to bring Richard into the conversation too, because Richard has ties into the health and wellness arena as well. And then we're going to tie it together with the travel. But before we get to the travel portion, Richard, talk to us about your Melaleuca and why you got into Melaleuca.
Um, do I need to unmute myself? Can you hear me?
I can hear you just
We can hear you.
fine.
Okay. Well, I got into Melaleuca. I was approached by my aunt, who I love dearly. Um, and uh, I guess I should go back a little bit further than that with my aunt, because I used to, when I was in college, I kind of assisted her with her Mary Kay business.
Mm,
And uh, that probably sparked me to just look at other things. And then when she got into Melaleuca, health and wellness of it, I got into it. I have pretty much used it more personally than as the business, and that's going to change. So it was from that, being my own customer, using the products, uh, staying healthy. Um, I can say um, it was those products, the vitamins, the other supplements that really kept me healthy. Now through COVID, um, I've never been diagnosed with having COVID. Every test I've ever taken, I am blessed to say, has been free, been COVID free, even taking trips. Um, when things started to travel again in back in 21, uh, it has helped. So no, it wasn't a cure all, but uh, I, listened to the information that was going forward and responded accordingly, and just made sure that uh, my health, my diet, my exercise was on somewhat of a point, not perfect, but on point. And uh, I'm here today.
I
Um,
know that's right.
I just say, I just say blessed.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, the business that
Um,
Richard and
the
I
business that
share,
Richard and I share,
hold on. Okay, wait a minute. It's back. I don't know what happened.
I
We
don't know
had
what
got rid of
happened.
the,
We had
we
got
had
rid
got
of
rid
it.
of
We
it.
had got rid of
Okay, let's check now.
it. Let's check.
Mm-mm. Yeah, this feedback
This
is
feedback
something
is
else.
something else.
Hold on. Let me do this. Mute everybody again and see if that, okay, there we go. It's gone. Okay. So, Richard, I'm gonna bring you back in, but I had to mute you for a second because the feedback was coming. I guess maybe too many microphones on at the same time, even though it was clear when you were talking. But I love how everybody has a tie into the health and wellness industry. So let's talk about the travel side, right? We are in a business where you can book travel, earn a commission for yourself. You can book travel for others and earn a commission, right? This could be linear income, or it can be passive income because we have our own website. I can Ray John, I've given you my website. You can go on there and
Hmm.
you can book your trip to California or wherever you want to go. I'll get an email saying, "Hey, Ray John just booked a trip with you. You've earned this much on commission, whether it's a hotel, a car, or whatever." And I tell people all the time, no matter what your niche is, having your own travel business can add to your income, right? Can help you create multiple streams of income. So when I got into the business, I already had the background in health and wellness. So the dream when I transitioned from St. Louis to Atlanta, the dream was to take this celebration on the road, right? Anubis, that was
Yep.
always the dream. Like Atlanta was going to be our first sister city. We had people in Ghana, we had people in Jamaica, we had people in Harlem, we had people in Las Vegas, we had people in LA, Chicago. We had people everywhere that wanted to be a part of the Heal Wellness movement. So when I saw the travel business opportunity, I had already got my yoga certification, already got my nutrition certification, already I became a juice therapist during COVID. So I saw the travel opportunity and I said, you know what? If I'm gonna be doing retreats around the world and I can earn a commission on the retreat and a commission I can earn money from the retreat and a commission on the travel, it just made sense to me, right? So I became a certified wellness travel advisor. If you had the opportunity to add travel to your portfolio, if you will, would you do it? And would you, or I've got a better question. Let me rephrase that. Just imagine you're sitting with a client, both of you, because you both have clients, right? You have your aromatherapy clients, you have your reflexology clients, your neurology clients. Anubis, I know you have an aura camera, and what just how likely are you to recommend travel to your clients as a way to enhance their wellness? Either one of you can answer that. And I think you both are. Let me see. Yeah, you're unmuted on my end. You may have to unmute yourselves, but I have you unmuted. I know Anubis, you're unmuted on my end, and so are
Okay.
you, Winter.
Okay. Me personally, I would that would be um that would totally be a something that I would advise, clients to do, any kind of retreats out of, the states, or even, in a tropical setting, where you can kind of really get a chance to detox and really get some of that color therapy and some of that, fresh air next to the ocean. So I'm
Now wait a minute, hold up. What's color
totally at,
therapy? Give
uh,
us a look. Now you dropping stuff we may not have
yeah,
heard of. Remember, we're live on a couple different
okay,
platforms, so you talking about
okay,
color therapy. What if people don't know what color therapy is? What's that?
okay. Yeah, so at that point in time, I mean, if you're traveling, I mean, because here in St. Louis now, it's dim, it's cold, it's chill, so that's me personally, this is the time for hibernation and to kind of get your detoxing in. But if you can actually travel out and go to a tropical land where you got all these different colors, and then of course you can get into your colorful foods, your full spectrum foods, but just that alone, just seeing the different colors, tasting the different colors, you can really get into that color therapy, because at that point in time you're tapping into healing on a whole nother level, where now your body is saying these are some of the things I needed to just take this health and wellness, to actually heal this body, to actually take this body and really rejuvenate. Yeah, so I would advise anybody that if you can travel and do retreats, and health and wellness retreats, like, why not, totally tap in.
Winter, I saw you shaking your head. Yes, yes. What you know about that color therapy, girl? And you're muted. You got to unmute on your end. Oh man, I was excited to hear what she had to say.
It
I can't hear you.
is almost like
Hold on, let me make sure I unmuted you. Yeah, you're unmuted on my end. I
Go
don't,
ahead.
I don't know what's going on. Anubis, you're muted. Anubis, you muted yourself.
yes, I
Can you
did.
hear me?
Can you hear her?
No, I still can't hear Winter. Winter, you're muted. Did you mute yourself? There, no, she's not. Okay, let me mute myself. Man, I'm over here about to bust out my seat because of what you just said. Can't hear her, but Richard and I can talk about a little bit. Um, the color therapy. Richard, how many people have you booked to a tropical location in the wintertime? Or have you
I
taken
mean,
a trip yourself to a tropical location in the wintertime? Experience some of that color therapy.
you're asking me?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't booked one yet. That's coming. That's coming. That will definitely occur in 26.
Yes. Just hearing him talk about it made me want to take a trip, like right now, because I'm in St. Louis, where it is
Oh,
very dim. It's
look,
very cold.
it's it's the climate, and I just not to repeat what he said, but you have to the colors, the climate, the air, the the relaxation. Um, you're in a warm climate. You can lie on your back, stick your foot in the sand, s- feel the wind, see the sun, watch the clouds. I've done this actually. That's what I'm telling you. I've actually done.
You look like you went there.
So, yeah, I went there.
He
So,
went there in his mind. He got all relaxed. He
yeah,
like lay
yeah,
on the
you
back,
do that, and then
feel the
you close your
sun.
eyes, and the experience is something else. Um, and then when you
Winter.
open your eyes, you have to remember where you are. You know you're in a good place, but you've attached and detached at the same time. Am I making sense, Ron? Ray?
You totally making sense. Yeah, you totally. I mean, because that's exactly what you. That's totally what you have to do is, and we can do that mentally, but it's nothing like going out and actually, like you said, putting your feet in the sand, actually having that sun beaming down on you. I mean, because at this point in time now, your mind is at ease and it's saying, hey, we get a chance to rejuvenate. We get some of these fresh fruits. I can actually get some of this seawater and some of this sea air, that can cleanse the lungs. So it's like, oh yeah, yeah. If I can, let me get some of this good sun, some of this fresh fruit, and some of this ocean air. And like you said, just grounding yourself in that sand, whole nother beast.
Okay. So Winter, can you try to speak now? I'm watching her reaction to what you guys are saying, and I know she got some good stuff for us, but we can't hear anything. Try to go out and come back in because I really want to hear what she has to say on that topic. In the meantime, I want you to let me see. I'm gonna take you out of the studio, and I want you to click the link and come back in. We're gonna see if that works. In the meantime, let's talk about the pivot, right?
Mm.
It's safe to say you've been successful in some other part of your life, in some other career field. How do you take those that skill set that made you be successful in the mortgage industry, Richard, that made you be successful, Ray John, in the raw food industry, clothing line, all the other things you've done? How do you take those skill sets and transfer them over into being an entrepreneur?
Um, you, in simple terms, just carry them. As you carry them, you know that you find your work with each one. Um, Mine in the mortgage business, I was helping people arrange from their financial lives to make an investment in themselves, um, to purchase that home, or to refinance that home, or to pay off pay off debts, create savings. Um, I've always uh, educated my clients to know that they're making a financial transaction and not a 30-year commitment. That's 30 for a mortgage. It was only it's just a term. The 30 years is just a term, but you made a financial transaction based on your financial presence at that time. And as your financial situation improved, then so would your transactions. Uh, i.e., you would you would be looking for another home, whether that be to sell the one that you have and purchase another one, or you're looking for a second home. And in some cases, some clients I had got a second home. Um, some people added onto their existing home. There has been a myriad of things that could have taken place there, but all of those are just financial transactions. Uh, and based on their financial position, they are able to do that. So I take that skill set and put it over into the travel industry. They're able to look at their financial picture, um, see where they want to go, where they want to be, how they can enjoy it, uh, and in our case, how they can do it not only for themselves but for their family and friends. Uh, and then they have options. The same options you had would have had in financing a home. You have options in travel. Once you make a destination, you can find excursions. Going back again to sticking my foot in the sand. Uh, those are still transactions that can be had even in the travel industry. So they kind of coincide, and when you look at it and you want to slash and compare. So uh, we can always find a way. Um,
Okay. Winter is back. Winter, I think Richard really wants to be at the beach. He's
yeah,
talking about putting his foot in the sand.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure the transitioning. Yeah, but I'm okay.
Let's see if we can hear from our Winter holiday. Okay, it's muted on your end. There you go. Let's see.
Okay, how about now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yay, amazing. Okay, so to answer your question, would I recommend travel? I definitely would. I really enjoy travel myself. Haven't been to too many places, but I have been to California. Just went to New York, Jamaica, and I went to 10 different locations in Greece. So in Europe. So I definitely recommend travel. I could say those have been some of the best like periods of my life as I was traveling, and then the enlightenment that I got and I came back with, those have been like some of the best times of my life. So definitely like how they're saying like for a foot in the sand moment, that recharge and that reset, I would definitely recommend travel to anybody. And I'm also a student of chromotherapy. So when he was talking
Hmm.
about color therapy, like the elongated word for it is chromotherapy, and there's a book that I wanted to show you guys. It's called Let There Be Light. So yeah, this is a really amazing book if you guys want to look into color therapy even more. So the colors have functions. So me being a numerologist, that's my point, like to show everybody that everything is connected. Every number has a color, every letter has a color, like everything is true connected. So yeah, so just wearing different colors and seeing different colors like do things for the body. And as we are saying, like where we live is not as tropical and fruitful. So going out of the country or to visit a different place definitely does like revitalize your energy and give you some sort of sense of alignment. So I would definitely recommend travel. It's done nothing but change my life every time. And also different places have different energies on them. So different places are more aligned for different people, and that's a study called astrocartography. If people are interested in looking into that themselves, so
Look, y'all,
I would definitely
y'all,
recommend travel.
y'all bouncing off each other because I know Anubis want to touch on that, the different energies in the different places. But I want to make sure I'm putting in the comment section. The name of the book is Let There Be Light,
Yes, and
and
it's
who is
by
it by?
Darius. It's by Darius Dinshaw. So Dinshah. Let there be light.
Dinshah.
Darius
Okay,
Dinshah. Darius Dinshaw.
got it. So with those that are following along, you can learn more about chroma. What is it?
Chromotherapy, which is the
Chromotherapy.
same as color therapy.
Okay, you can learn more about color therapy from the book Let There Be Light.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. All right. Anubis, talk about it. She mentioned the different energies and vibrations in the different places. Every color has a number. Every food has a color. Like the color is important, but what about the vibration in the location?
And so that was one of the things as she was speaking, I'm like each color, each color and each color has a vibration and a frequency. So I'm like, just that alone, just seeing that, and a lot of folks would even get into colors might even have smells, and it's like all of these things are part of the holistic journey. So I would totally traveling and getting a chance to get out and see these different colors. I would I would totally advise that, to actually get out and travel and just to be able to get your city and not be in the same four corners of your, be able to actually see how folks are doing business in Greece, or in Africa or wherever, South America. So I believe it's just that alone is therapeutic to actually be able to actually get out the country or even go to a different space and see how folks are living. And you can actually that uh, will actually get you out of some of those rough patches to be able to say, wow, okay, I actually came up with some. And as an entrepreneur, you come up with all different types of great ideas once you see other entrepreneurs or other folks doing business in their different cities or countries. Um, but the veggie back off what the brother was saying, a- as an entrepreneur, I mean, to actually make that transition into entrepreneurship, uh, I think with me it was a passion. It's most definitely having a passion and having a drive to actually be able to, get up every day and say, hey, look, I want to work with folks on health and wellness or even travel or whatever your journey is. So I think it's really about having that passion and having something that you love and something that you embrace.
Absolutely. One of the things that I did, I don't know if can y'all hear me? Okay, good. One of the things that I did want to touch on, you muted yourself again. I thought you were done.
Yeah, I did. Yep. Yeah, I muted
Oh,
myself.
oh,
I
okay.
did.
I saw your mouth moving. I'm like, well, he muted himself. Okay. So one of the things that wait, see you can't you play look, you know I'm tired now. You can mute yourself and then your lips are moving. Is it just me? Winter and Richard, do y'all see this?
No, my lips are not moving. Yeah, that's an illusion. It's an illusion. Now my lips are not moving. Uh, That's not what's going on. Go ahead and finish. Go ahead and
Listen, look, I'm a little bit delirious. Okay, I got a flight in the morning. So anyway, what I was trying to get to is the transitioning. We talked about transitioning to entrepreneurship, but what I want to touch on, because I've heard each one of you say this tonight, was even like Winter talked about her teacher in high school about George Washington's teeth, like really giving them the real deal and having mentors that led her into aromatherapy. Anubis, you talked about listening to different holistic doctors. I know Dr. Sabi, Dr. Africa, they've been the Queen of Fua. They've been instrumental mentors in leading you to where you are today. Even Richard in our business, we have millionaire mentors that teach us, and the personal development and the mind shifting that has to go on in order to be a successful entrepreneur. One of the purposes of this live stream is to leave words of wisdom for the entrepreneurs that are coming up behind us. So I'm going to give each of you an opportunity to talk about how important it is to have a mentor and how important it is to mentor, to be able to be a mentor as well. How important is it that you had a mentor, and how important is it to you to be able to mentor somebody else? I'm going to start with you, Richard, and we're just going to go around. I will control the muting. So when he's done, I'll mute him. When she's done, I'll mute her. And then, Rajon, you'll have the last word, and I'll mute you when you're done. So we're going to start with Richard.
Okay. It's important to have a mentor, just to help clear your path, give you direction, uh, give you insight, um, and just to be able to um, level up. If you look at all of the personalities, doesn't matter what industry, in sports, in business, um, they have mentors, um, people that tell them how they can improve themselves. Somebody else on the other side of the window looking in. Um, if I can just call a few names, Michael Jordan had a mentor. Uh, and he's considered the GOAT. Uh, but he had a mentor. He had somebody in his, for the lack of a better term, in his shadow, watching, critiquing him, giving him insight, uh, so that he can be able to level up his game. Um, and that's the importance of having a mentor. Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant, had a mentor. Uh, he was able, and he was able to be great at the game. Um, I'm looking for a business person not coming on to me right now, but actually, uh, what was his name? Um, I believe not John Lewis, but his last name was Lewis. He was in business. He's passed on, but early on, he was one of the first, not the first, but one of the very successful Black entrepreneurs back in the day, when mergers and acquisitions were taking place. Um, but anyway, he had a mentor. All right. In our business, we have mentors, and they tell us and they help us to level up. And bringing that full circle, when you do level up, you're able to pay that forward. Um, and that's a feeling of accomplishment. That's a feeling of arrival, if you will. So, yeah, mentorship is important.
Absolutely love that. Thank you for sharing. Over to Winter Holiday. How important were your mentors to you, and how important to you is that you be able to be a mentor to someone else?
Okay. Mentors are an important part of my life. Maybe that's the part of my life that I'm most grateful for, like having those people to look at. I think about that often, whether it's me thinking about my grandmother and her showing me how to cook or how to be kind and treat other people, or if it's my older brother giving me my charisma, my swag, or if it's my teachers from elementary school from just being patient and kind and gentle, loving, or sewing, or like you said, the multiple streams of income, my mentors that I've had, those billionaire mentors that I've been able to look at in stocks or in the beauty industry, the salon owners I've been able to look at. Having somebody to look at helps you model yourself. It's not all about taking every single thing exactly how you see it, but more so seeing it and getting that inspiration and being able to turn that into your own light and your own right. So I feel like having a mentor is one of the most beautiful things like a person can be gifted. Kids came up to me the other day and were just chatting with me about my journey, and I asked him, I said, what do you want to be? And he was like, I want to be a basketball player. And just like Richard said, I said, some of the greatest basketball players you see had mentors. You know that, right? So I was like, get with somebody that you see has skill and that has age advance over you, and ask them, can you function underneath them? Like for sewing, for instance, I found a Vietnamese lady. I was getting my oil changed and I saw an alteration shop across the street. And I said, I want to know how to do alterations. I wonder if I go in there and I show them that I'm a seamstress, I'm willing, I'm kind, I want to learn what they offered to teach me. And I walked in there, and sure enough, an older Vietnamese lady was like, she was over the moon to see that somebody young as I am had an interest in such an old trade. And she took me under her wing, and that's how I was able to get my industrial sewing machine. I used to be a child looking at those sewing machines thinking I would never have the skill enough to operate that machine. And just out of my curiosity and seeking a mentor, I was able to not only get that machine but learn how to work it. And she gave it to me for a good price. So a mentor is a beautiful thing to have. And then once you gain the skills and the knowledge from what you're doing, turning around and paying it forward by teaching the next person what you learned is also one of the most honorable things I think that a person can do, because we're not here for forever and you can't take any of this with you, but what you can do is leave something behind inside somebody. So I think that having a mentor and being a mentor are amazing things that we can do while we're
I love it. I love it. I love it. And you just reminded me of something that I heard from Myron Golden. He talks about this in a way that I had never heard it before. He said you can count the number of apples in a seed, but you will never know the number of, no, you can count the number of seeds in an apple, but you will never know the number of apples in a seed because that seed gets planted, and when it brings forth fruit, it grows a tree with numerous apples, with more seeds. And he said the way the creator created us, he placed a seed inside of you. She clocked it. I love that. I love when I see people do that. He said the way the creator created us, we all have seeds in us. And he went back to Genesis where it says, be fruitful and multiply. Most people translate that into mean reproduce and have babies. But he said, no, you have to, the fruit can only produce itself, right? So when you learned how to sew and you got that mentor that taught you how to use that machine and gave it to you at a good price, that was you sewing, that was her sewing her seed into you. And your see, he said we need each other. Your seed needs my seed needs your seed. And so that's how we multiply the fruit. And I thought that was so profound. And so that really is important, y'all. To be an entrepreneur is not just about the money. You got to put sometimes, most times, you have to put the people over the profit, right? Get yourself a mentor. And then once you learn that thing, be able to pay it forward and teach others the same thing. Anubis, how important is it that you've had those mentors and that you can be a mentor to somebody else?
Yeah, so having a mentor is really really important. Because just tracing back to, the older gentleman that I talked about that just sat down for hours on end with me, just he was like, I didn't know anybody was interested in this boring subject. And I'm like, no, this ain't boring, but this is so having a mentor, I would totally tell every young person to, or even anybody, any walk of life, if it's a special skill set or whatever skill set that you have a passion, and whatever path, life path you pick, I would totally tell somebody to pick up one or two mentors. I mean, because at this point in time, they can tell you about the hills and the valleys that you're gonna go through, the ups and downs that you're gonna say, "Wow, okay, I took some hits." You're gonna have some paid days, and you're gonna have some unpaid days. And hey, look, you're gonna deal with some of these folks and some of these folks right here. So actually have those folks to have that insight on knowing, the ins and outs of whatever that path, whatever that life path is. I would totally tell a young person or just anybody, hey, grab a mentor because they're going to give you some insight that you didn't have once before.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So I did want to share a little bit since we did talk about the travel. I did want to share. Am I muted? Let me see. All this muting and unmuting got me a little wound up. But I did I did want to share a little bit more about our business, Richard, um, because it's like Mr. Bradley always says, and I think Winter alluded to it too. Find someone who is where you want to be and model yourself after them. Even if they're not a direct mentor to you, you can I look at our keynote speaker at our last convention was John C. Maxwell. And I didn't get a chance to meet him one on one, but I've read several of his books. So I kind of look at him like a leadership mentor, right? Um, it is a beautiful thing that you guys decided to join me today. You could have been anywhere else in the world doing anything else in the world. And I definitely want to have you guys back in February. We have the Hill Wellness Collective is launching actually this month, and we have our first event at the Atlanta Black Business Expo, and I would love to do a health and wellness series with more practitioners like yourselves, and just to have you guys come on and be a part of this was everything to me. Any parting words of wisdom from your heart? Oh no, we usually end with this. What are you reading? What book are you reading? And give me your biggest takeaway from what you're reading right now. We're gonna start with Richard.
Oh man. Um, well, I just purchased it today. So it's a book where we starting on our IMV, and IMV stands for morning inspirational morning vitamin. It's a if I can call it a set, it's a training session, uh, self improvement session where we go through and dive into books on personal development. And the book that we're reading now, or just getting into, is Relentless by Tim Grover. Um, and I have to get my notes, excuse me, for just to give you a takeaway.
Okay, I'll come
Okay,
back
I'll come
around
back
to you.
around to you.
Yeah.
Anubis, what are you reading right now?
And this is interesting. Yeah, yeah, 'cause it's been a nice while since I got just a really juicy book. But for the most part, I'm always researching. So lately, I just been researching. Actually, one of Richard's expertise is just foreclosures. I've been studying just foreclosures and property management. So different things like that. So just leaflets and different books. Um, just kind of touching on because I'm getting a little bit further into real estate. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, let me really get into this. So it's no title of a book, but for
Mm-mm,
the most
mm-mm,
part, that's
mm-mm.
what
Well, give me your favorite book then.
give me my spiritual
Something
nutrition.
spiritual
Spiritual
nutrition.
nutrition.
Okay.
Yeah, spiritual nutrition, and that is oh wow, wow, wow.
They can
The
find out who it
author.
is.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because the author, wow, and I know the author's name too. But spiritual nutrition would be one of my go-tos.
Okay. I'm putting it in the comment section right now. All right, we got Richard's book recommendation, Relentless by Tim Grover. And then we got Ray John's book recommendation, Spiritual Nutrition. All right. Come on, Winter Holiday. The crowd is loving you. They say you are amazing. So we are
Mhm.
looking for your book recommendation.
Thank you so much. So let me see. The book that I am reading right now is this book right here. So this isn't necessarily my recommendation, but the book that I'm reading right now is The Four Questions: A Pathway to Inner Peace. And I cannot pronounce the author's name. Vasika Dasa.
Okay,
How
hold
to
on.
guide us to our highest
Give
potential.
the four questions.
Yes, The Four Questions: A Pathway to Inner Peace. So I am reading this book. I was actually gifted this book for free. Not, but I'm reading this book right now because I'm not sure if you guys have seen, but the monks have been walking through Georgia. They're going,
Hmm.
making their way up to DC, saying that they're doing a walk for peace. And I didn't connect the dots, but around the time where I wanted to study the breath work and such, I went to a free yoga retreat called Vipassana meditation. And what it is it's practicing the yoga practices of the Buddhist monks. And it's non-religious, but it is a practice of Buddhism and whatnot. And so I was just thinking that that retreat was something otherworldly. Like for 10 days, what other time in your life you have to not be on your phone? You can't look, can't be no signals, frequency coming off of your phone getting into you or anything. So no phones and no talking to anybody else for 10 days. So just having them walk through made me realize that I lived as a monk for 10 days, and that's something to really not speed by. So in honor of the monks walking through and promoting peace, I decided to revisit this book. So this is the book that I'm reading right now.
Absolutely love it. I love it. I love it. You definitely have to come back.
Oh, I would
We
love
want to do
to.
maybe a 6 month check in or something. See how you're
Okay,
doing.
perfect.
And we actually want you to join us at the Black Business Expo too. So we have to have a conversation about that.
Okay, for sure. Will do.
All right, Richard,
All
you
right,
ready
Richard, ready
with your
with
with your
with your
takeaway?
takeaway?
Yeah. Just to kind of give, I won't call them brain teasers, but food for thought. Uh, don't overthink championship mindset. Set yourself to be locked in, to get locked in to win. Relentless defined, understanding what must be done against all odds. Um, Relentless in our business looks like finishing what you started. Uh, so be complete. These are unprecedented times. We must remain increasingly intense, relentless about meeting our goals.
Absolutely. All right. Even though we're gonna have feedback, I'm gonna unmute all the lines, and on the count of three, we're gonna end this by saying cash flow conversations. So you guys be ready. This is our first cash flow conversation of the year. This is
Yep.
This is the first of many for 2026. We will bring you exciting guests every week who are on an entrepreneurial journey, who want to give words of wisdom to other entrepreneurs coming up behind us. We will have business opportunities for you. We had Anthony Lumpkin in the chat talking to us. He sells the he was my guest a while ago. He sells the Index Universal Life policies, and we're talking about how you can make money, how you can create multiple streams of income in your life, helping you design your ideal life, whether it is through the travel industry, whether it's through universal life, whether it's through health and wellness, whatever network marketing, whatever it is, we are here to have these cash flow conversations. Let's normalize talking about money coming into our communities by our own merit and our own effort and our own work ethic, highlighting the characteristics of what it takes to be an entrepreneur. Let us get it started. We just got it started on this first Monday of the year, and I'm super grateful to my guests. And we're going to unmute the lines, and on the count of three, we're going to say cash flow conversations. One, two, three.
Cash
Cash
flow
flow
Cash flow
conversations.
conversation.
conversations.
Woo!
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Winter.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.